ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન ના 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 અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન ના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. દાદા ભગવાન અસીમ જય જયકાર હો. असीम जय जयकार हो।
दादा भगवान
असीम जय जयकार भगवान ना असीम जय जयकार हो। दादा भगवान ना असीम जय जयकार भगवान ना असीम जय जयकार हो। दादा भगवान ना असीम जय जयकार दादा भगवान ना असीम जय जयकार दादा भगवान असीम जय जयकार दादा भगवान ना असीम जय जयकार दादा भगवान ना असीम जय जयकार भगवान ना असीम जय जयकार
दादा भगवान
असीम जय जयकार
जय सच्चिदानंद। Pulinanandji, there's a lot of noise coming from your sound.
Noise?
Yes.
अरे यार
Okay, Itaxiba.
આ જય સચ્ચાન હવે બેટર છે કે એવું જ છે હજી?
Oh yes, yes. Now this is much better. Oh yes.
Okay.
Sound gone. Okay, three mantra, please do three mantra. Pulinanandji.
નમો વિતરાગાય
नमो वीतरागाय
નમો વરિયંતાણમ
नमो हरिहंताणं
નમો સિદ્ધાણમ
नमो सिद्धाणं
નમો આયરિયાણમ
नमो आर्याणं
નમો વજ્જાયાણમ
नमो ऊर्जाणं
નમો લોય સૌ સાહુણમ
नमो लोय सव्वसाहुणं
એસો પંચન મુક્કારો
ऐसो पंचनमस्कारो
સૌ પાવપણાસણો
सर्वभावप्रणाशिनो
મંગલાણંચ સવ્વેસેન
मंगलानं सर्वे
પાડમામ હવૈ મંગલમ
परमं भवै
ઓમ નમો ભગવતે વાસુદેવાય
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ઓમ નમઃ શિવાય
ओम नमः शिवाय
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ
जय सच्चिदानंद
Jai Sachchidanand. Itaxiba.
हे दादा भगवान, आप मुझे ऐसी शक्ति प्रदान करें कि मैं अपनी हेल्थ को कभी भी कॉम्प्रोमाइज ना करूं, ताकि मेरा शरीर रूपी साधन मुझे मेरे ध्येय को यानी कि पढ़ाई में और सत्संग में हमेशा सहायक बने। मैं पढ़ाई में बिल्कुल सिंसियर रहूंगी। मैं बुरे शब्द से कुसंग से हमेशा दूर रहूंगी और कुछ परम कृपा करना। प्राप्त मन वचन काया का योग और अपने आत्मा का उपयोग केवल परोपकार यानी कि जीव मात्र की सेवा में ही करूं, तो सबसे बड़ा मानव धर्म है। मैं हमेशा अपने स्वयं और अन्य सभी लोगों के साथ के जीवन व्यवहार में सिंसियर, मॉरल और प्योर बनी रहूं, ताकि मैं बराबर दादा भगवान की जैसे मैन ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी बन पाऊं। ये दादा भगवान, मैं आगे अपने माता पिता की हर बात सुनने का संकल्प लेती हूँ और उन्हें कभी भी अहंकार से जवाब नहीं दूंगी। कृपया इस संबंध में मुझे अनंत आंतरिक शक्ति प्रदान करे। जय सच्चिदानंद।
Toral.
हे दादा भगवान, मुझे पढ़ाई में समझ में जो बाधा या अंतराय आते हैं, जो ऑब्स्ट्रक्शंस आते हैं, उन सभी को तोड़ने का मैं दृढ़ निश्चय करती हूँ। आप ऐसी कृपा करें कि जिससे मैं दर्शन ऊपर के आंगन टूट जाए और मेरी पढ़ाई सही ढंग से हो। ऐसी परम शक्ति आप हमें। जय सच्चिदानंद।
Daksh.
जय सच्चिदानंद। हे दादा भगवान,
हे
दादा
भगवान,
हमें आपके बच्चे,
हमें
आपके
बच्चे,
दिल के हैं सच्चे,
दिल के हैं सच्चे,
फिर भी है कच्चे,
फिर भी है कच्चे।
आप करेंगे अच्छे अच्छे,
अच्छे। Okay, जय सच्चे। Daksh, Hindi.
जय सच्चिदानंद। हे शुद्धात्मा दादा भगवान अपलग और दक्ष लग है। हे शुद्धात्मा दादा भगवान अपरमेनेंट और दक्ष टेम्परेरी है। हे शुद्धात्मा दादा भगवान आप रियल और डेफिनेटिव है। जय सच्चिदानंद।
खुशी।
हाँ, जय सच्चिदानंद। हे શુદ્ધાત્મા દાદા ભગવાન, તમે જુદા છો, ખુશી જુદી છે. હે શુદ્ધાત્મા દાદા ભગવાન, તમે રિયલ છો, ખુશી રિલેટિવ છે. હે શુદ્ધાત્મા દાદા ભગવાન, તમે પરમેનન્ટ છો, ખુશી ટેમ્પરરી છે. જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ.
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ. Okay, Chennai. Health.
हेल्थ बेनिफिट प्रेयर।
हाँ।
जय सच्चिदानंद। स्वस्थ शरीर हमें शारीरिक, मानसिक, मनोवैज्ञानिक, बौद्धिक, भावनात्मक एवं आध्यात्मिक रूप से मजबूत बनाता है। हे दादा भगवान, मुझे इस संबंध में शक्ति दे। ईमानदारी और नेतृत्व से अज्ञान करने से उत्कृष्ट गुण मेरी अपने लक्ष्य को सफलता और खुशी को प्राप्त करवाएगी। हे दादा भगवान, मुझे इस संबंध में शक्ति दे। और ईमानदारी सभी सब साधन करने से मेरा मन मजबूत होगा, मेरा चित्त केंद्रित रहकर मेरे 3 लक्ष्यों को पूरा करने में सक्षम होगा, मेरी ऊर्जा बढ़ेगी, मेरा ज्ञान बढ़ेगा, मेरा व्यवहार सुधार होगा, दादा भगवान से आशीर्वाद प्राप्त होगा और उनके जगत कल्याण में निमित्त बनेंगी। हे दादा भगवान, मुझे इस संबंध में शक्ति दे। जय सच्चिदानंद।
जय सच्चिदानंद। गुजराती किसको आता है? Anybody knows Gujarati? Okay, खुशी।
मुझे
कौन सा?
हेल्थ।
हेल्थ। ओके, बाद में स्टडी।
हाँ, જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ. સ્વાસ્થ્ય શરીર આપણને શારીરિક, માનસિક, મનોવૈજ્ઞાનિક, બૌદ્ધિક, ભાવનાત્મક તેમજ આધ્યાત્મિક રીતે મજબૂત બનાવે છે. હે દાદા ભગવાન, મને આ બાબતે શક્તિ આપો.
Taxiba, study.
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ. અભ્યાસમાં સખત મહેનત, પ્રામાણિકતા અને નૈતિકતા ઉત્તમ ગુણ આપશે. મારા લક્ષ્યો સફળતા અને સુખ પ્રાપ્ત થશે. હે દાદા ભગવાન, મને આ બાબતે શક્તિ આપો.
ઓકે. સત્સાધન આવડે છે તાક્ષીબા?
वो रीड मुझे ओलर नहीं आती. ओरली.
તો વાંચો છે.
હા, દરરોજ અને નિષ્ઠાપૂર્વક બધા સંસાધન કરવાથી મારું મન મજબૂત થશે, મારું ચિત્ત એકાગ્ર થઈ મારા 3 ધ્યેય સિદ્ધ કરાવશે, મારી શક્તિઓ વધારશે, મારું જ્ઞાન વધારશે, મારો વ્યવહાર સુધારશે, દાદા ભગવાનના આશીર્વાદ મેળવશે અને એમના જગત કલ્યાણમાં નિમિત્ત બનાવશે. હે દાદા ભગવાન, મને આ બાબતે શક્તિ આપો.
Very good. Okay, so Saturday, Sunday, how many chapters did you do? How many are remaining now? Pulinananda, they are doing first revision of all the chapters in their all subjects. because the exam is going to start 1 month from now. So they're going to finish first revision and then 1 month another revision, second revision. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Chennai.
हाँ जय सच्चिदानंद मेरे टोटल चैप्टर 74 है
In the English.
My total chapters are 74 and on Saturday I just learned my question answer which was given by my teacher, and today I learned 2 chapters and 50 chapters have been completed, 24 are remaining.
Okay, Toral.
Jai Sachidanand, in the weekends I have completed 2 chapters out of 15.
Daksh.
Jai Sachidanand, I have done tomorrow, yesterday 1 chapter and today 1 chapter. My 46, my 19 chapters left.
Okay, Kushi.
Jai Sachidanand. I have a total 54 chapters and I complete 52 chapters and 3 chapters
Remaining. I have completed. Okay.
I have completed.
Itaksiba.
Jai Sachidanand. Today I had did 2 chapters and my now 45 chapters are left. 52 chapters are done.
Okay, Charisma. How many? What did you study this Saturday, Sunday?
Saturday
Saturday, Sunday. Okay, Chutti. Okay, quickly exercise. Number 1, yoga. Number 2, Surya Namaskar. Number 3, your normal exercise. 1, 2, 3. Which one did you do today, Kushi?
Third exercise.
What did you do?
Cycling.
Itaksiba?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, kya baat hai, very good. Daksh?
1 and 3. I have done
Toral?
2 and 3.
1 and 3. Charisma?
1 and 3.
1 and 3. Monica?
All the 3.
Kushi, Ahmedabad, Chennai?
I did 3.
3. Okay. Okay, lastly, food taste. Did you taste today food? How many? Kushi? Taste? Kushi, Ahmedabad?
4 out of 6.
4 out of 6. Itaksiba?
6.
Up to 6. Daksh?
4 out of 6.
Did you check with your mama?
Yes.
Very good. Toral?
Today I didn't do.
Yeah, okay. Chennai? Kushi?
I got 4 out of 6 taste.
Monica?
And Jai Sachidanand. I also got 4 out of 6 taste.
Okay, both. Everybody ate the same thing? Charisma?
Jai Sachidanand. I do not observe the taste.
No, I'm sorry. Why? What were you doing? Watching TV or playing while eating?
Talking.
Okay. Okay, Pulinanandji, you saw the report. It's getting better. Children are doing good. So now you can talk to them now.
Okay. When you say you observe 4 tastes, which 4 tastes you observed? Monica or Karishma, who said that last?
Yeah, I observed spicy.
You can say in Hindi, don't worry. You may not know the English words.
Yeah, that is here.
You say in Hindi, say in Gujarati, whatever you're comfortable.
Yeah. तीखा और तूरा और थोड़ा मीठा और खट्टा.
तूरा किस में देखा?
तूरा वो सैंडविच में वो ब्लैक कलर जैसा क्या बोलते हैं?
ब्लैक तो
जो वो एक वेजिटेबल है जो उसमें मुझे तूरा है, उसका नाम मुझे पता है.
चलो उस वेजिटेबल में तूरा है, बट तूरा और किस में है?
तूरा सिर्फ उसी में आया, और जो मैं सॉस के साथ खा रही थी उसमें थोड़ा मुझे तीखा और मीठा आया, और बाकी सभी में तीखा आया, और खट्टा मुझे जो मम्मी ने छोले भटूरे बनाए थे उसमें थोड़े से आए.
हाँ, मेरे समझने के लिए ये सब तुम जो बोल रहे हो वो क्या तुमने ऑब्जर्व किया कि इसमें ये तूरा टेस्ट है, इसमें खट्टा टेस्ट है, ऐसा?
मैंने सब इतना ही ऑब्जर्व किया.
नहीं, इट इज ओके, मैं समझने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. आपको तूरा टेस्ट किसको बोलता है मालूम है?
वो जो राई का टेस्ट आता है उसमें.
So first you must know which taste is what ना. मीठा तो सबको समझ में आता है, स्वीट सब खाते हो, बराबर है. खट्टा भी सबको समझ में आता है ना. किसमें होता है खट्टा? वेरी इजी एग्जांपल. गेहूं, नींबू. हाँ, परफेक्ट. खट्टा इज इन नींबू. स्वीट तो सबको मालूम है, शक्कर में है, मिठाई में है. फिर दूसरा कौन सा टेस्ट है? कड़वा,
तीखा,
मेथी. हाँ, तीखा सबको मालूम है, वो तो समझ में आता ही है. खट्टा, हाँ, कड़वा, हाँ, करेला में है.
दाल
तो
में मेथी होती है, उसमें
मेथी,
दाल में मेथी होती है उसमें.
कड़वी ना.
हाँ,
गुड, राइट. तूरा किस में होता है?
राई में
है
आमला.
क्या? आमला नहीं. आमला में क्या टेस्ट होता है? चलो बोलो दूसरे लोग. आमला खट्टा होता है. हाँ, उसमें खट्टा भी होता है, थोड़ा तूरा भी होता है, वो तो दादा ने बोला. लेकिन इफ यू डोंट एक्सपीरियंस इट, बाकी सब टेस्ट आपका सबसे सही है. तूरा टेस्ट किस में होता है?
राई में.
यानी अगर आपको तूरा टेस्ट किस में होता है मालूम नहीं है, तो फिर तुम तूरा आइडेंटिफाई कैसे कर पाओगे?
दाल में.
कौन सी दाल में?
जो दाल हम हर रोज पीते, तुअर की दाल में.
हाँ, तुअर की दाल में है तूरा टेस्ट होता है. अभी आप लोग दूसरा तो नहीं लेते, लेकिन वो हरडे जैसा होता है ना, जो कभी लेते हैं तो उसमें आता है. सो तूरा टेस्ट तुअर की दाल में है, तो वो टेस्ट आपको मालूम हो जाए. फिर जब आप कुछ खाते हो तो फिर वो उसके जैसा है, तो आपको पता चलेगा कि ये तूरा टेस्ट में खा रहा हूँ या खा रही हूँ. एनीवे, इट्स अ गुड प्रोग्रेस. एटलीस्ट इतना तो ऑब्जर्व किया कि आज आपने खट्टा खाया, तीखा खाया. गुड. तो बोलो, अभी आपको किसी में से किसी को, आपकी सब प्रेयर्स तो बहुत अच्छी है, हेल्थ के लिए है, खाने के लिए, पढ़ाई के लिए, ज्ञान के लिए, सत्साधन के लिए. अभी आप में से किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन है तो पूछो.
Anybody has a question?
Yes. No, Monica has raised her hand. Monica, Kushi, whatever.
I have a question that English में बोलना.
Whatever you're comfortable in.
When we observe the taste, what will happen when we observe the taste?
Basically, your attention will be over there. Your chitta will be over there. Normally, while eating, we are not. Our attention is not over there. So, I think this exercise has been suggested to you So to ensure that your Chitt is present when you are eating. And when your Chitt is present, in loose terms, your attention is there. You know what you are eating. And if your Chitt is present, then you will be able to experience the tastes better, and you will get more satisfaction. For example, if you are eating something you like very much, say you like rasgulla, this is an example. And then if you eat it in the presence of the Chitt, that means you are present over there. You are eating, and when you are chewing, you are chewing it very properly. आपका ध्यान है वहां पे, your attention is over there. Then what will happen is you will experience that flavor, in this case sweetness, very nicely, and then you will get more satisfaction. Yes, okay, I have eaten this gulab jamun, I'm happy. If your attention is not there, if your Chitt is not present, you will eat 1, 2, 3, while talking or while watching TV or doing some other activity or eating, then you will not experience that taste, and you will not get that happiness that you get from eating that. So even after eating 3, you will feel, kuch maja nahi aaya. You have not enjoyed it. So for the enjoying, you eat one more, till you feel satisfied. So sometimes we eat more than necessary just for the taste of it. But if you eat it in the presence of Chitt, your attention is focused, then you will get satisfaction in the limited this thing. And also Dada Bhagwan has said that we must eat in the presence. While eating, we must be very much present and not do any other activity. So we get proper taste, we chew properly, and if you chew properly, then digestion becomes easy, So these are the reasons why your attention should be there. And how will you be attentive? Only if you are given a homework, hey, what have you eaten? And what are the tastes that you have got or experienced, So that is why you have to ask yourself, what taste are you experiencing? As a result, you will be forced to be present over there. Your Chitt, your attention will be forced to be focused, and then it will be helpful. Less food will give more satisfaction. There will be no overeating.
Right.
Hey, so Kushi, Sinai, how much study did you do Saturday, Sunday?
I did Saturday. I did one subject in social science, and today also I did one chapter in social science.
How come? How many are left to go now?
I have 13 chapters left.
Oh, 13. So you don't want to finish it? Did you have a lot of time to Saturday, Sunday, or did you waste your time?
I had time, but I did not revise it.
So you can be. Did you use all the time properly? You could have done more chapters. Kushi?
Can you repeat again? Your voice is breaking.
I don't know. The Pulinanandji, I couldn't hear them.
Basically, she is asking you to repeat the question because she has not heard what you said.
Saturday, Sunday, you did one and one each. Could you have done more? Okay, we lost them.
Maybe there's a network issue. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else more a question? How about studying? Taksiba, Toral, any question on studying? Toral? No? You're good in? You're going to get 100 out of 100?
No.
Yes?
No.
Why? Daksh has a question.
You should be asking the Pulindara there. Hey, what do we need to do with 100 out of 100 on all subjects, right?
Why do you? Daksh has a question. He's raised a finger.
Yeah, Daksh.
I have a question that So then I am reading some chapters. There are some hard words that I cannot understand. So I am doing there 1 mark, and then I am asking to ma'am.
Okay.
So I cannot understand that word
Which language?
of English.
Okay. So what you're saying is when you're reading English or you're doing your studying English, there are some words you don't understand.
Yes.
And then you ask the ma'am for it.
Yes.
Okay. So then ma'am replies to you.
Yes.
Okay. So what is your question now to me?
I cannot understand.
Even if the ma'am explains to you.
Yes. I forgot.
Forgot what? The meaning.
Meaning, yes.
Okay. That will happen. Don't worry. So if you happen to forget, you can make a practice of writing it down. That is
Yes.
number one. Asking the ma'am is the easiest thing. And otherwise, if you are comfortable, you can refer a dictionary. How old are you?
9.
9. So you must be in the 3rd standard.
4.
4th. Okay. So is there anybody elder to you in the house who can refer the dictionary and give you meaning? Elder brother, father, mother?
Elder sister.
Elder sister is there, na?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you can ask her. You can just keep this thing, note of all 2-3 words which you don't understand, and then sit with her, sit with the dictionary, and try to find the meanings.
Yes.
And then either you write it down, or you try to practice using that word, making a sentence, understanding it. That's how you start remembering it also. So this will happen. The best way is to either to ask someone or refer the dictionary. That's part of thing. It will happen. Okay.
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 Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Jai Sachidanand. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hidanand.
Yes.
Okay. Darsh.
JSS Apt Pulinanandji.
Jai Satyanand.
This is in reference to observing tastes, which we were discussing before. And I wanted to understand like how we can keep our attention intact throughout our meal. So what happens is, considering a situation where we are super hungry and we do our prayers and then we observe the taste for a while, it eventually gets lost in the middle where we just try to enjoy the food, and I get so much engrossed in it that I forget that okay, I need to observe the taste throughout my meal. So how do I keep that attention intact?
See, one of the ways is you must count how many times you are chewing each morsel. Normally, the rule of the thumb is 32, the number of teeth you have. So 32 is the typical average number of teeth. So you must chew each morsel 32 times.
Okay.
If you focus on the number of times you're chewing, attention is automatically brought back over there.
Okay.
And one other thing is take slightly smaller portion of food in each morsel. So your chewing will be better and attention will also be more focused.
Okay. Sounds good.
These are tips to healthy eating. As suggested by Dada Bhagwan. Anyway, this is also in Ayurveda and generally speaking, everyone promotes this. Be attentive while eating, chew very properly so that it is become almost like a semi-liquid. So half your digestion in the jaw and the remaining in the stomach. So well digested in the jaw, the less effort for the stomach to do it.
Okay.
Automatically, the biggest thing to be noted is that if you chew it extensively, and still it becomes liquid, so you will experience the taste. Otherwise, you don't experience the taste. And what will happen is, it will increase in volume. So you will feel full. You will feel full that, oh, my stomach is full by eating less amount of food. And the simile to understand this is that if you have a dabba full of grains, it's full. And now when you grind it, make atta out of it, make flour out of it, then that flour will occupy more volume. You'll not be able to put back the same flour in that amount of that same dabba, because the flour is expanded in volume. So same thing, when we eat food and we chew it, it will expand in volume. So the food that you eat, less food that you eat, if it is well chewed, it will occupy more volume. So by eating less food, it will occupy more volume in the stomach, and you will get a feeling, oh yeah, I'm full. So this will help people who indulge in overeating.
Yeah.
Either they have not got the taste, so they eat more of it, or they are not, because they are not attentive while eating, and they feel, oh, I'm still hungry. So by doing that, your volume of the stomach, that stomach bag, is full with less food. So that is little helpful in Jagrati as well as in digestion, both ways. So attention while eating, one of the ways is chewing and counting the chewing. So automatically everything will fall in place.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll definitely give it a try. Thank you. Jai Satchidanand.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not okay. This is not a test, but yesterday was a great pious day, Maha Shivratri. Do you know significance of Maha?
Yes. So basically, you don't worship the idol. It's getting your inner Jagruti to be in a place where it's at the highest peak, and ensuring that all your Gnanendriyo and Karmendriyo remains intact. And that's where the shape of the Shivling, it basically depicts that you need to be super conscious about what you are trying to achieve in your life in a spiritual way, and all of your personal would also be taken care of. So I've read about this a couple of times, and again in our JSS Satsang as well, the same has been discussed. So basically getting things sorted out. It's an indication, like you just sort it out during that day.
Very good, very good. Now the Pulinanandji talked quite nicely how to pray. Pulinanandji, go ahead and talk about Maha Shivratri significance, and you did a good talk yesterday on how we should pray. So go ahead, Pulinanandji.
See, the little that I know about Shivratri is that Shivratri means from darkness to light. So it is the darkness of the ignorance which goes away when one is enlightened spiritually. So the significance of Shivratri is that Jiv Mati Shiv Baneche. One becomes from Jivatma to Shivatma. One gets enlightened about one's own self. So that is elimination of the darkness of ignorance. Elimination of the darkness of ignorance by the light of the knowledge. That is the significance of Shivratri. And Shiv Purush. Typically, Lord Shiva has been worshipped as the Shiv. and Shankar as the Shiv. But Dada says that Shiv is a person who has enlightened himself fully, who has whose ego is minimized or zero, vanished, vanquished. And that person who can enlighten others and make the welfare of others as well as remove his ego. Such a person is called a Shiv Purush. જેનું કલ્યાણ થઈ ગયું છે અને બીજાનું કલ્યાણ કરી શકે, જેનો અહંકાર ગયો છે અને બીજાનો અહંકાર કાઢી શકે, એવા પુરુષને શિવ પુરુષ કહેવાય. So Dada Bhagwan falls in that category as a Gnani Purush, whose ego was zero, made others' ego go away. You know, the wrong belief that goes away means our ego goes away. His welfare was taken care of. Enu kalyan thai gyu and working for the welfare of the others. Bijana kalyan ni mate jaye છે. So on the Shivratri, one really wants to worship Shiva. Traditionally they worship Shiva by chanting, fasting, rosary beads, basically invoking the good qualities of Shiva and praying that those qualities come to me. And we as Mahatmas can look for the qualities that Dada Bhagwan had and pray that may all your good qualities come to us. That is how you are cool, calm, equanimous. You know, you had conquered all the 4 kashais, Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh, anger, pride, deceit, and greed. How you are always in a state of constant bliss. May I also achieve that state of constant bliss. How you are constant, aware, and separate from the body. May I get that heightened awareness and remain separate from the body. So may I be in my own self and discharge the external worldly activities with equanimity, with Rakta. So these are the qualities. There are many other qualities, but primarily it falls in this much. So we must pray on this day that may I worship that Lord Shiva, I worship Dada Bhagwan, and I pray for all your good qualities that I achieve on this day. And fasting is typically done by all religions on special occasions, whether it's the birth anniversary of their master or whatever. The purpose of fasting is on that day when you don't eat food or eat very less food, your awareness is heightened. And in a heightened state of awareness, you are aligned with your soul. You do a lot of introspection, and you ask, you seek for pardon. You seek for pardon on that day, because when you are aware, you seek for pardon for all the sins or misdeeds that you have done. You seek for divine grace. And on that day, you're more aware. When food is not there, awareness increases, Jagrati increases. So that is the crux of eating, fasting. Then fasting got diluted over a period of time. Fasting was strictly fasting, not eating anything. Then people found it difficult to remain without food. So they said, okay, you may eat fruits one time or twice. તો જરા સત્સંગમાં છું, પછી વાત કરું. એટલે so once in a day, one meal, you may eat fruit. Then some spiritual masters, rishis and sages of the past found that fruits everybody may not be able to afford. The very poor and a common man may not be able to afford fruits. So they permitted him, what is the cheapest thing he can eat? So they found potato is the very cheapest vegetable which everybody can afford. So he said, okay, you may eat a little bit of things made from potato. And that got, diluted. The essence of it got diluted, and then upas or fasting is a feast of all potato items. And it's a party time and eaten with great relish. So the essence of fasting has got lost over a period of time. And my upas means it's a you make n number of items out of potato and relish the whole thing. The crux of potato was to, so a common man can afford it, eat only once a day, just to, so that the body also keeps working. And if one cannot be fasting, then Dada Bhagwan has suggested Unodari, that is eating less than the appetite. Their scientific measure has been given, but that 50% of your appetite should be filled with food, 25% with water, and 25% leave it vacant for air over there, because when digestion gastric juices are formed, so gas is formed. So if you eat that much, then you will not dose. The dosing will not take place, and you will remain alert. Jagrati will be there. So what to eat and how much to eat is a crux, very crucial thing for Jagrati as well as good health. We just spoke about chewing, so that also is quality of eating. And eating as a very simple thumb rule, less than your hunger. When you get up, you must feel, I'm still hungry. That's so that you, as a Mahatma or any spiritual person, you will be very alert. So those are some tips on food. And Shivratri, as I said, Shivratri is worshiping Shiv, asking for his good qualities and trying to bring aligned with your own true self, or Atma Jagrati, if you may say so. This is the significance that I know of Shivratri.
Okay, very good. So now you're talking about fasting. Why don't you talk about Dada's Agiaras?
We are going to hold Dada's Agiaras. See, Dada Bhagwan, as a part of Purushat, he has opened up one very good experiment, or a Purushat, where he has suggested that we must remain on fast for 24 hours. This is specifically for Mahatmas who have got this enlightened vision. We are unable to remain in a constant soul awareness. We are unable to remain in constant soul awareness because we have got a lot of files to square up. We've got worldly affairs and activities to be done, meeting people, doing work. So Jagrati goes flip-flop because activities and files keep coming. We have to attend to files and people and work. So this is a special occasion where we free ourselves from all worldly activities. And Agiaras, as defined by Dada Bhagwan, Agiar means 11. So 11 things will be on fast. On that particular day, 11 things will not be given food. The 11 things are the 5 senses. The 5 senses of the vision, nose, taste, hearing and feel. 5 senses, 5 karmendriyas, it is called, or motor organs as they call it in English, where in which the hands come, 1, feet, because that's the movement, and then we urine, so excretion, solid and urine, liquid, that is excreta and urine, and food input. So all these 5 motor organs, which are also not given any activity. On fast means they are to be kept inactive. And 11th is the mind. All these are to be kept idle. You don't have to think, you don't have to walk, you don't have to talk, nothing. So for 24 hours, typically say 6 in the morning on a Saturday, is 6 in the next day morning, Sunday. Just observe what file number 1 is doing. Eyes closed, you're in one comfortable position, and you have to just observe. You don't have to do anything. Whatever thoughts that come, wherever the Chitt wanders, whatever Buddhi says, in case you're experiencing some pain somewhere, then observe the pain in the body. Some heat is there, some cold feeling is there, a mosquito is biting you, whatever means, observe the mind, body, and speech. Speech, obviously, there is nothing to be spoken. Eyes have to be kept closed. And no work to be done. So what is to be done? Nothing is to be done, is to be done. No vidhi, no chanting, no pad. If it happens, it happens. You don't have to constructively do it. But if it happens as by natural flow, yes. So whatever thoughts come is basically what you have to observe on that particular day. So when you are 24 hours constantly in observer status, the whole crux of the Agiaras is to remain in observer status for 24 hours, undisturbed, uninterrupted. So you are put in a room where you will not be disturbed. You have no external disturbances with you, and just observe the self, file number 1, or Anter Skaran, because, but you're permitted. You're permitted to go for urine, toilet. Natural output is allowed, no input, means no drinking of water, neither food. The previous evening, we have meals before sunset. So that for 12 hours, typically, sunset, if you say at 6 p.m., 5 to 6, you finish the meals. So 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. is a good enough time for digestion. So all your food, digestion is taken care of. And when you start the next day, your stomach is empty. You have no external disturbance, no internal disturbance, so that you can remain in an uninterrupted state of observance. You can observe, file number 1, essentially the Anter Skaran. And that is a wonderful experience. When you do it for 24 hours, at the end of it, your Jagrati will be enhanced to a very large extent. That is the whole crux of doing this. And many wrong beliefs will get fractured in the whole process. Everybody feels, oh, I need to drink water every 2 hours. Oh, I need to eat something in 2 hours. Oh, sleep, I cannot do without sleep. I just cannot survive. So we have these beliefs imbibed into us, which will all get fractured on that day. It's only we who have built up all these things because we have imposed happiness into it. And then it looks very threatening. How will I do it? No, it's very much possible. Especially in Kalyan Purush, we have done, I think, 10, 12 times. So in this very pious atmosphere, in a group gathering, when everybody is in a group, there's an entire different set of vibrations. Mahatmas can do it at home also. Many people did when Dada Bhagwan was present, many Mahatmas in America have done Agiaras. But for a beginner, done in group is a helpful thing. Then one can do at home also. But the point is, all your myths will get shattered. That I need to sleep, I need to eat, I need to drink. Once you're in a heightened state of focus, these things don't bother. It will happen. It's the body. So body, you will feel thirsty. You may feel sleepy. You may feel this, yes. But then that's where the Purusharth is there. No, I have to remain in alert state. So you will take pains not to fall asleep. You will take pains. And thirst will come for some time. Then the body gets accumulated. The body gets used to without food and all that. You might get a pang of hunger here and there. But then after once your mind is determined, nothing doing, I'm not going to do it, then it will stop. Automatically the body also comes into auto mode. You will not eat, you will not drink. And that is going to be a beautiful experience. So that was the whole purpose, to enhance the Jagrati. And once you experience what is separateness, what is observer status, then you will feel afterwards, after post-Agiaras, that I must experience this bliss more and more. And then your Purusharth, it will be a big boost to the Purusharth. And even during discharging your worldly activities, then you will become an observer of file number 1. He or she is getting angry, upset, is not remaining Agna, is remaining in Agna. And then that bliss of suppression is something which will give a step jump in our Purusharth and in our journey towards moksha. So that was the purpose by which Dada Bhagwan said, do this Agiaras at least once in a lifetime. And if done properly, then the result will last for a year. But this is the summary of Agiaras.
Yes, Pulinanandji, we have done 3 times already, me and Taruben, but we're thinking of doing it this time, but I don't know whether we should do our timing or your timing.
I leave it to you. Whatever is comfortable. Whatever is comfortable.
Because if we join you people, then our biological.
And I have a feeling you should do it with your biological clock. That will be better. So you do it at your 6 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Right.
That will be better. That will be far better. No, that will be better, because doing it at a different time, then you have to tune up yourself beforehand, for 1 or 2 days to follow that setting, because our body is used to working, sleeping at some times. So do it at your time only. It will be far better, easier to do it.
Okay. Vishaliben?
Jai Satchidanand Pulinanandji. Jai Satchidanand Radni uncle. My question, Pulinanandji, is about, well, it's a two-part question. The first question is, about eating and food and stuff. I have a leaky gut, so nutrients don't get absorbed and stuff. So sometimes I'll eat things that I shouldn't be eating, and then, my stomach hurts. And so I have to sit down and not do anything. So one is, I don't know why there's not enough control. What part of me just goes in and eats stuff that, out of convenience or whatever it is. The second part is, when I have to rest, the mind says, no, you got to be productive. You can't just sit around and rest. There's no way you can rest. So there's like this constant struggle of, me giving in to temptation and eating stuff I shouldn't be eating. And then on the other hand, not allowing myself to rest and relax and recover, because the mind says I should be productive 24/7. So how do I explain to my mind, and how do I get my willpower to be strong enough that only eat the stuff that works for me and don't eat the other stuff, even though it tastes good or whatever it is?
You have to, for that, you have to ask for strength. That, Dada Bhagwan, may I not eat this. Or may I eat only this much and only this type of food. Asking for strength is reinforcing your today's resolve.
Yeah.
You not being in control is because of your past karmas, and you're destined to suffer. So it will force you to eat things which you don't want to eat, and cause discomfort, resulting in suffering. It's the force of the past karmas which goes against the existing wisdom. You know that you should not be eating, but you will be forced to do. You'll be eating. That is giving in to your mind. Basically giving in to your mind.
Yeah.
So basically, mind is what? Nothing but opinions. No? Whatever opinions we have formed in the past is a result of the thoughts in today's mind. So we have to reverse the opinion today. That may I eat only this much, may I eat only this, may I eat only this. If you ask or do that repeated assertion, what will happen is, whenever the temptation to eat something arises, the counter assertion that you have done or strength that you ask will also pop up. For example, if some stuff is not suitable to you, say potato is not suitable. This is an arbitrary example. But you like potatoes. So when you see something nice, you will say, eat, let me eat. The mind will say that. But you have to say, no, I don't, may I not eat this? I don't want to eat this. I don't want to eat this. Or whatever way you have framed that sentence. So at that time, your resolve of today will pop up with equal intensity as the mind is saying, eat. So it will nullify the discharge temptation. And you'll have to get away from it. Basically, you just part ways, either you leave, that food should be out of sight. Either you put the food out of sight or you go out of sight of that food.
Yeah.
That's one of the ways to rein in your mind. And other thing is by willpower, as you said, deciding that I will not eat this, I will not eat this. And 1 or 2 success stories will motivate you further. Maybe you may fall 3 times, you may succeed once, you may not succeed. That may happen. Again, resolve, okay, I will not eat this. And slowly, you'll be able to come to a place where, and then talking to yourself, number 2. Tell yourself, see what happened to you. Chalo, you ate this. What has happened? You have become miserable. You are bloating. Now you can't feel work. Now you have become lethargic. You are losing so much valuable time and energy. Instead, that day, if you had eaten less, it was so nice for you. So talking also motivates yourself, and asking for strength. That 6th column is nothing but asking for strength. Na? So you can add, may I eat less than the appetite, Unodari karwani shakti aapko. So you may frame your sentence appropriately where you ask for strength as to what you want. That I should not eat this, or I should eat this, or I should eat in moderation, or whatever. The only repeated asking of strength and talking to yourself that, see, there is no advantage in this. So much suffering is there if you don't do this. Either you overeat or eat at the wrong time or eat the wrong food or in the wrong proportion, more than the necessary, just for the sake of it or the taste of it. So show the disadvantage, and ask, be firm to resolve again and again and again and again. But it's a constant process because your charge is also very high level. Yeah. So then your today's resolve has also to come up to that heightened level. Until the both levels match, the physical activity of whether you're eating that food or not will result in the interplay of two forces. Force of the mind, eat. Force of today's resolution, don't eat. Whichever force precedes or increases, action will be accordingly. If your don't eat thing increases, you will not eat. Let me eat. So you have to heighten today's resolve by asking for repeated strength, and it's an ongoing process till this fellow diminishes.
Yeah.
And so that's the way.
That makes sense, because I think Vaishali's focus has been on trying to gather more information, and the information overload is crazy because the focus needs to be that I need to understand that this is a charge karelu chhe, so it's just discharging, but I need to ask Dada for strength that I don't want to eat this. That's not good for me.
You see, basically we must be natural as to what we are eating, because some things, see, food is a discharge where the parmanus from within are excited, and we get the food from outside. If I'm feeling that I want to eat dosa, if it comes so continuously for a few days, then automatically dosa will land into my palate. Somewhere I will come, from somewhere it will come. It's a very natural phenomena, cause and effect, which Dada Bhagwan has quoted in his personal life. He has given many examples, and I have experienced it myself firsthand. So you don't have to go after food. Food will come to you naturally. They'll come to you. But you see, it's a challenge for women because the kitchen is in your hands. No? So you can always do what you want. For men can stop asking, bhai, aaj ye banao. Make this today. Men can say, no. So for them, this purushad is easy. For you, who are you going to? You don't have to ask anybody. You and your mind, that's all.
Exactly, yeah. And most days it's strong, but there are days where it gives in, and then I have to pay the price. But besides just
every time you pay the price, you resolve, talk to Vaishali. Vaishali, see what have you got? Next time don't do it. Vaishali, what have you got? Next time don't do it. Hey Dada, give me strength. Hey, you keep on hammering and hammering till your force is stronger.
Yeah.
And out of experience also it will happen. See, the day you work according to your today's present design and your purusharth, then you will feel light, nice, happy, more energetic, more fruitful, more productivity. So then you will feel, yes, I should be doing this. So that the positive experience will motivate you for the next purusharth next time.
Right.
It only will go by experience and talking to Vaishali and reinforcing today's thing, because you're working against a very huge backlog of discharge. Last birth, I had imbibed so much of happiness in eating from food, the belief that there is food is the source of happiness. 5 senses are there. Taste is being one of them. Vision is another one. Now, food is a predominant source of happiness for everybody. Number 1. Then comes the vision, movies, outing, and all that stuff. So these are 2 primary sense organs which lead us towards the Prakriti and away from Atma. And if you can, and Dada has very clearly said that if you cannot have Jagrati on food, if you're not alert on food, the amount of food you eat, you will not be able to succeed in any of your purushas. This is one of the key necessary ingredients. And you flip-flop. Days you are alert on food, your Jagrati will be heightened. Days you are not alert on food, your Jagrati will be down. Like a cloud coming and covering up, like that. So, asking, and we have over the, not only last birth, but over many life births, we have always believed or imposed the belief that there is happiness in food. Khawama sukh che, khawama sukh che, khawama sukh che. That has been carried forward and in a very solid form, unshakable faith. And now you got today's Gnan, Dada says, do Unodari and eat in moderation. And how is that going to work? You have charged, just to give an analogy, 100 kilos of this, and then you do 10 grams of Purushad. Obviously, it's not going to work. So then we have to heighten this by our willpower and by our experience. So gradually this will go down, this will come up, and then somewhere the equilibrium will come. If not in this birth, at least in the next birth.
In the next birth, yeah. But Jared Bhagwata, when you're experiencing the pain or whatever situation you're in, Vaishali tends to forget that this is also temporary, because the mind takes me to this place. Well, how did you not learn your lesson in the previous times when you were in pain? Why do you keep eating the same thing? But I think that's the focus. Instead of beating her up, the focus is on Ke Dada mane Shakti apo, I don't want to eat this. That's where it needs to be.
Focus, and one day you make a very firm resolution that today I will eat only this much and in this much moderation. Unodari. And then that day you will experience a lot of happiness. The light will be light, your Jagrati will be enhanced. And that positive experience will be your motivator. But I tell you, it's not so easy. It is not easy. This is the biggest challenge for everybody.
Yeah.
It will always be a flip-flop. 2-3 times you will succeed, 1 or 2 times you will fail. Then again you will succeed, then again you will fail. Then again you will succeed, again you will fail. So don't get disheartened.
Right.
This is the way to progress. This is the way. There is so up and down, and gradually over a period of time, it will stabilize.
Yeah, I want to experiment the connection of food and Jagruti. Like, how is it connected? Like, I want to observe.
Don't eat food one day. I'll tell you very simple. One day you skip your meal, and if you're very hungry, just eat little bit of fruit. Little bit of fruit. Juicy fruit, not that banana and all that heavy stuff. Just to satiate that severe hunger pang, if at all. And Jagrati will be there. You won't feel sleepy at all, even if you want to sleep. Raat na tu bhuki chui jata na, ungat nahi aave.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So then, during you have all of you are experienced it. All of you who are working. What is your lunch? Your lunch is all working lunch. Little bit of one munchie by a sandwich or something. So you are aware and fully. So that is a Jagrati. And on that Saturday, Sunday, when you stop yourself with yourself, you need to sleep in the afternoon. So you have experienced the relation between Jagrati and food.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay. This is the clarity.
What is the challenge? The big, see, I tell you, this is all superfluous lecture. Do's and don'ts. Eat this much, don't eat this much. Eat only, chew the food. Nothing will work until you fracture the belief that there is happiness in food.
But
as long as that is remain, all this Purusharth will be superfluous. It'll work sometime, again pop down. मजा आ रहा है ना, अभी जो जिसमें से मजा आ रहा है तुम कैसे छोड़ोगे उसको? You can't leave something you are enjoying.
Yeah, very true.
And as long as you are enjoying that stuff, you're in the relative happiness. So anyway, you are away from Atmaja, spiritual or soul happiness.
Vaishali's problem is I don't feel like there's happiness in food, but it's more like to survive, to have the sustained energy, I have to eat 2 meals a day or 3 meals a day, and I have to do this. Like there's this manyata or abhipray that I've fixed in here.
That needs to be modified.
Yeah.
People live with 1 meal and 1 meal fruit also.
Yeah. My husband does, and he's fine.
Here you are. You have your example at home.
Yeah.
But of it, that it's not that belief that I need to eat more. Basically, eating less, you will give equal amount of energy.
Yeah.
But what compels us is that there is happiness in that.
Yeah.
And in today's time, people are so stressed with all external things going wonky. Somewhere the happiness is required. Top.
I have a second question, Radhyanko. Do you want me to wait, or can I?
No, go ahead. Finish
so
it.
My second part is that whenever the Bhagavato comes and I'm in pain and I can't focus because the pain takes away all the focus. So that's when I'm not doing anything. And this part of me feels like there's two parts. One part feels like, well, you're blessed enough where you could actually rest and not do anything. So just relax. But the mind keeps saying, gosh, you run a business. You can't just relax. You should be doing something. You can't just randomly take a day off, 2 days off, or whatever it is. How do I explain mind that it's just Vyavasthit doing these things? I'm not making it happen.
Yeah. Actually, it's the buddhi which is at play.
Yeah.
The buddhi is the intellect. The intellect is telling you, you cannot afford to take rest.
Yeah.
The intellect is showing loss in taking rest.
Right.
So you only need to convince buddhi, but nothing will happen. Try once what happened. And that is part of Vyavasthit. And if you want the buddhi, chalo, I'm not doing any worldly or business activities. I will utilize this time for my spiritual growth. So while you're taking rest or lying down, you can do some chanting of the, Atmana Guno, the properties of the soul. I am pure soul, Anand Gnan Vadochu, Anand Darsan Vadochu, source of infinite knowledge, infinite, wisdom. You can do chanting of that, you can do Kirtan Bhakti, or you can ask for strength. You can divert your mind fruitfully, if I may say so.
Right. That's the problem, is that when I'm resting, I just want to be on my phone or watch some show or be on Netflix instead of taking that time to, I don't know why Buddhi says that. That's
it is not the Buddhi. In that case, the third element of the Anter Skaran is at play. Our Chitt needs to be focused somewhere.
Right.
If it's not in work, it's not in spiritual work, then where to go? Basically, you will only find comfort when the Chitt is focused somewhere. That's why the easiest thing is mobile, Netflix, TV, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it remains focused. It's looking for an avenue to remain stuck somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So now you will have to substitute that Netflix with visualizing Dada's face or visualizing those letters of our Charan Vidhi, or visualizing your breathing and doing some Dada Bhagwan Asim Jajagat chanting. The Chitt has to be brought in our framework of spiritual progress.
That's where the Purusharth is.
That's the Purusharth. That's the Purusharth. So at rest, the Chitt will go down, go out, and you have to bring it back. It'll go out, bring it back. Go out, bring it back. That's the Purusharth.
No, that makes sense.
We find happiness when the Chitt is focused somewhere. Either it is in work, or it is in movies, or it is in food, or it is in fun, it is going out, this where you see your happiness is when Chitt is focused in things you like. So now that you're not working, then Chitt has to be given some activity. It has to be placed there. So if you place it somewhere, then it obviously Netflix will not be there. So you have to give the substitute options. We are not giving the substitute options.
Right. And I can ask Dada for strength for that too.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I understand. JSS.
And nothing else works now. Just lie down and keep focusing on your breath. do deep breathing and watch that. Just do breathing. And there are hajar ways of bringing back, whatever works, you try.
Pulinanandji, she likes to do pads also. You can be singing pad all the time too.
You can sing a pad. That's very good. That is excellent.
Likes a lot.
Yeah.
Bus. So whatever works for you, you can do pad singing. That is the best thing. Spend 1 hour in that pad singing. You'll be so exhausted and even regenerated for that matter. Your digestion will come back on track.
Great. Excellent. Thank you,
Okay.
Jai
Jai Satchidanand. Kirtiben?
Jai Satchidanand Pulinanandji. Jai Satchidanand. Very good. I just want to share something, but before that, it's in Gujarati. It says, "Pani chavine pivanu, and food liquid karine khawanu." That you can't sample. And last time, Apta Putra Minashananji ઘેર આવ્યા હતા, Animeshananji ત્યારે I'm saying that in Gujarati, sorry. So what happened, Nikhil just asked him to have that snacks when we were just entering the house so I remember, and it became a logo for me for my life. He said, we're going to have it during the tea time, we sit down and have it. So even that small little snack, he mentioned, okay, we will sit down and eat it. Sit down and eat it, and with that, the pani pivanu, the drink and the tea and the snacks. So how, also that really gave me the very solid impression in my life, that every time when I do any task, especially eating and drinking, I sit down. I make a point to sit down. I want to be aware what I'm eating. And that, so can you please talk about a little bit more in pani chavine pivanu and food liquid karine khawanu?
You see, this is all common sense. This is there in all our, these are the principles of healthy eating. Nothing to do with religion. This is the basic principles of healthy eating and how to eat, where the logic is very simple. Maximum amount of saliva should be there in the food that goes below the throat. So when you're eating a solid food, you have to chew it and chew it. The more you chew it, more amount of saliva will get into it. So it aids the digestion. The food is well digested, 50% right in the mouth, and the remaining over there. The same thing with liquid. So if you just gulp down the liquid, there's no scope for saliva to get, mixed with it. So when you chew the liquid, now that means it can be plain water, not required for much for water, but when you are advised fruit juice, for example, or you're taking any liquids like milk or, at that time, if you see to it, you take it in small sips so that enough saliva also mixes with it. So either some people gargle it and eat it, drink it, or you take it slowly, so even saliva is also mixed into it. That aids digestion. So the point or the principle behind that saying that chew the liquid and the solid make it liquid before it goes down is enough amount of saliva should be mixed with it. But that's the only, that has a lot of digestive powers which aids digestion below down in the stomach.
Isn't that the awareness also like with that?
Awareness is not the awareness to anyway is required.
Yes.
Even if you're aware, you will gulp down that liquid, good. But that is not the point. The point is saliva has to get mixed with that thing.
Okay. But how do
the scientific purpose is saliva mixing.
Okay. So when I sit down after that, for even Dada's principle, well, you sit down, pay attention, try to see all the taste, the salt and the sugar and all that. And it really helping me because I decided that I want to focus what's in that food I'm eating. So it also helping me that way. And that that keeps me, that separation, keep me in the separation, that this is the taste, and I notice that. And it's really helping me. I just feeling that awareness. That's what I was thinking. I could be wrong.
No, you're right. That is right. That is right.
And the Agiaras regarding, I would like to do it. You just mentioned that you do it on your local time or your system. So what kind of vidhi or what should I be doing to start that? If I want to do it?
Well, we will be doing it online, or we'll be broadcasting it online for people who are abroad. People in India should take advantage of the location here. But for people who are abroad, it's just basically a simple prayer to Dada Bhagwan, Simanda Swami and the Devi Devtas that give us the strength to do this Agiaras according to your own, according to his design, according to Dada Bhagwan's Anter Skaran. And then just doing like a Samayik Manvachan Kaya Samarpan Karuchu, and then the few sentences of Siddh Stuti Anand Gnan Vadochanan Darshan Vadochanan. The same vidhi is the same as we do for Samayik.
Okay.
Nothing very special.
So main thing
also, Kirtiman, it'll be there, so it will be recorded. So you can always pay. They're doing 7 to 8 the satsang. You can play that, and then we can go to sleep, or you can adjust accordingly. No?
You can watch that satsang and then do it according the next day.
Right.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that I think that will work. But yes, this the Atma's Gun, it's really helping, and I'm doing that for many days and many months, and it helping me too. But I want
only ensure people like you who are generally staying alone that you are not disturbed on that day.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I want to.
So you'll have someone to take care of answering the doorbell.
Right. Sure.
Mobile you can switch off, but what will you do about doorbell?
Right.
Or you lock your house and go to someone else's place and take a room by yourself. So then you are totally undisturbed.
Right. Okay.
I mean, find out a way where you can do it. If one of you do it together, it's well and good, but find out what is most practical.
Sure. Okay. Jai Sachidanand.
Rani Ben.
Jai Sachidanand, Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji.
Jai Sachidanand.
This satsang has been wonderful today. I was just thinking about food and consumption and how it needs to come balance. My question is actually about about sleep. So for my job, I have to travel. I work in many different time zones, and I have to immediately, get up the next day on a 12-hour time zone and present or perform, So my question is, can some of these, like you gave the practical examples to Vaishali, I found as I've gotten older, it's getting harder and harder to manage this adjustment in sleep time zones, switching time zones constantly. It's making it harder to eat properly, to even just, daily routines are disrupted. So I was wondering, do you have practical tips on how to implement that when traveling for work? How do you maintain that strength when it comes to not having sleep? Because everything I feel starts to suffer, when the sleep is affected. So
I understand. I fully understand. People who are who have to do a lot of traveling, and especially in different time zones, it will definitely disturb the normal eating habits, the gap between two meals and all that. So now that you are in this set of situation, the workable solution is whenever you eat, as we said, chew it as much as possible, make it liquid and it goes down. And eat less than your hunger. You must feel that I can still put something more, less than hunger. So what will happen in next 1 or 2 hours, you'll feel hungry again. So again, and that will happen. Then again you give little bit. Dada used that fire of hunger should always be burning. That is Dada's words. You must give only enough to keep the fire burning. Otherwise, we eat so much, the fire also gets extinguished. You will not feel hungry for next 5 hours. But Dada says, after a meal, I can eat a meal. I mean, that is the extent he would practice. But I'm not saying that we can just blindly follow. The point is, you feel, I can eat a little more. But just leave it at that. Maybe you'll feel hungry after 2 hours. Then you regulate after 2 hours to eat or 3 hours to eat, and again give a little bit. Because you are traveling, so late night you slept at night and you have to again get up early morning and then again do this. So your night meal is so light that it's easy to get up, and the morning meal is just enough to keep yourself little active. So that is the best workable solution to eat. To the hunger is still there. If you can break up your meals in parts instead of just 2 meals, square meals a day, it can be 3-4 things with snacks in between, but nutritional stuff,
Yeah.
The dry fruits and all that, which gives the necessary vitamins and all. Easy to digest and gives the nutrition, both. And as you age, then heavy stuff. Wheat is the toughest grain to digest.
Yes.
Rice is the very easy rice and all that stuff. So then you can strike out a working balance. Yeah, and that is the best thing you can think of right now. And pray that may I get a schedule where I can take care of my eating.
I am. What about, so one more
Bhavna
question.
Rakhwani, as we say, have the inner intent or desire that may I get a normal thing so that I may take care of my food, and more than that, so that my Jagrati or awareness increases.
Yes.
And I tell you, it will work. If you really pray to Dada that may I get such a work where I am able to take care of food, to take care of my Jagrati. The ultimate goal is not to take off the food so that I can sleep well, no, so that I can remain more aware. Sleep is default, it will come. And sleep, very strictly, Dada Bhagwan has said, as Mahatmas, we should see to it that we don't sleep too much. But now we are testing a working balance because you are people who work also. Sleep is essentially required extra sleep is required to take care of mental exhaustion.
Yes.
The exhaustion of the body, 2-3 hours of sleep is enough, Dada used to say. But because the mind is exhausted in all the mental activities, it needs more rest. So sleep is one thing which will fall by food automatically. If you have eaten light food, automatically you will wake up after 3-4 hours. So you can enhance your mental alertness by a little bit of pranayam, if you ask me. Breathing exercise, especially the Anulom Vilom, it enhances the blood supply to the brain very much. In just 5 minutes, you can get the effect of 1 cup of coffee. What 1 cup of coffee and caffeine rushes the blood to the brain and makes you alert, that will happen in that 5 minutes of Anulom Vilom.
I was just going to ask you about caffeine consumption. So
do it need based. Do it need based. Don't do it out of an aha feeling, maja aa gaya, because all that is loan. Then repayment will come.
Yes.
Need based by force of your job forces you, and you have to be active and all that. So make it need based and have a desire. Okay, may this get minimized.
Yeah.
What has happened is, in our previous birth, we charged, I want money and fame, come what may. I will do this, anything, but I want that. So come what may has come to you. You have to run here, run there, eat, drink, and perform. Now you're going to reverse the whole thing. And you will say, hey, now that I Dada Bhagwan, now that I've met you, now that I've got your Gnan, now that I know that true happiness is in the soul, now may I get a lifestyle which is appropriate to that goal of mine. where I will be in a heightened state of spiritual awareness and progress rapidly towards moksha. A reverse prayer now will bring results. It will accelerate the decay of your discharge. Discharge will not go away, but it will accelerate decay. If you don't do this, you are anyway pumping in more and more opinion. I have to work. I have to take coffee. I have to do this. So then you are reinforcing the belief. No, here you are removing that belief. Yeah. So then nature will give you the things that you want now. Dada has given a very scientific approach. Very scientific approach. Wrong manyata laine aaya, we have brought wrong beliefs, so the discharge is of that type. But now you remove your opinion from it. No, I am not in agreement with this rush lifestyle. I'm not in rush. I'm not in the mad rush. He is taking a cup of coffee, nice presentation. I take a cup of coffee, I'll make a better presentation.
I think I've said those words. Yes. So very true.
I've gone through all this, so I know it. not to the extent you have been traveling, but I picked up the driving force that driving you. So now when we change our opinion, the nature will supply us circumstances which will align with today's new goals that we are set for ourselves, the spiritual goals, and the lifestyle appropriate to attain that spiritual goal.
Definitely.
And prayer to Dada will work because Dada is waiting and he's keen that Mahatmas progress. So anybody who asks for any strength, he's just willing to shower. Question is, we don't ask for that strength. We pray, Dada, my worldly life becomes good. This problem is solved and that problem is solved. Dada says, I will give you knowledge for your spiritual enhancement and inner bliss. You are not asking that. Incidentally, I am solving your worldly problem so that again you come back to the spiritual of yours. But somewhere that goal is lost. My goody in the world I want, but where? For what?
Right.
Anyway, Dada is love infinite. He knows that we are all like this, all rubbish mal. So that also I grant you. If not this birth, next birth you will improve.
Okay, Rani.
Thank you. Jai Sachid.
Jai Sachid. Jai Sachid. Okay, Pulinanandji, we are coming towards the end. And we've been doing Samayik since last 2 weeks. Today's the last day of seeing the Anter Skaran, seeing file number 1, simply observing what our external body self keep doing all day. So this is just an experiment and not to dwell more on that or why or that, just observing. So if you can share some thoughts from your experience, will be great.
Come again. The Samayik is on observing the Anter Skaran or the daily schedule?
No, through Anter Skaran, observe whatever the physical body is doing. Okay, like I'm talking to you, I'm eating, I'm doing, I talk this way, that way, just observing the physical body part what is doing.
Okay.
No analysis why I did it, whatever.
And
that's coming afterward. This is just observing your file number 1, whatever he is doing.
I understand. And this was one of the purushas also suggested by the Dada Bhagwan to us, that create a habit at the end of the day of observing what all file number 1 has been doing. Like I got up in the morning, then I went to toilet, then I did brush, then I eat breakfast, then maybe bath, then rush, newspaper, office, interact with person A, person B, had a dispute with someone, got angry on someone, or went well, did the vidhi, could not do vidhi. Observe whatever file 1 has done by mind, that is at the in thought level, whatever at the speech level, whatever at the action level, interaction with people and all. So just observe as like we watch a film, observe in a non-judgmental manner, without getting into the whys and whats of it, as a third party, like a CCTV camera being replayed, something like that. So this is the process of what Dada has told. What will happen during time, you will see where all file one has gone wrong. What are the mistakes it has done, whether it has hurt someone by mind, body, speech, whether some anger, pride, deceit, any of the kashais has taken part, and it will give a scope for corrective action. Corrective action, that by way of pratikamana and asking for strength.
Yeah, I think that's coming next, because we are just observing right now.
This is I'm just coming. This was the suggestion of observing so that you can take corrective action. Okay. Otherwise, the whole day goes just mechanically, You got up, did this work, did that, had meal at night, went to bed. Little bit of vidhi, arti, and fat. Now, to get out of that rut of mechanical activity and getting engrossed in file number 1, he says, at least pause and see. But there is a science behind that. The science is when you observe, you are seated on the seat of the pure soul. And you are in the observer state and you are observing file number 1. Now, this is a process of separation, where you at least separate as a constructive activity. Otherwise you are not able to remain separate during the daily work. So make it a separate activity and observe, so that a separation comes, and then wherever errors have been committed, then corrective action follows. So if you find it a challenge to do it at night, then do it split into 2 parts. Say morning to afternoon, lunch or around that time, and the second part post lunch to say dinner, bedtime, and of whatever you have done in the morning half, then remaining this half. So in 2 parts, if you keep observation, it becomes faster. And then if that same thing gets extended, then one may observe after every 2 hours, so whenever he gets a pause moment of free time. And so once you observe every 2 hours, then that 2 hours can become less, and then it becomes continuous online. You're observing constantly. It's not practical. You're working, your Antar Skaran will be occupied, but whenever you get pause moments. So the crux, or the principle behind this act, Purusharth, was you get separated from the body and come to an observer status. The core property of the pure soul, Gnata Drashta, observer and knower, or knower and seer, Gnata and Drashta. To come into that state, this Agiaras is precisely for this thing. When a stomach is empty, you are not going to eat anyway, you are not going to get food anyway, so that craving also will go away. And it just remain Gnata. The 24 hours separation process, which is an event, but on a daily basis, do it at the end of the day or whenever you get time, so that you start becoming separate. What is happening is to file number 1 and you are separate, and then corrective action will follow. Don't even have to wait. Your prajna within you or within us will definitely say, sorry. Corrective action will follow. But now that you are split in 2 parts, it's fine. But if really done properly, you see, and in being non-judgmental, basically, you see, if you're observing with consciousness through the prajna, then it will be non-judgmental. And if it's through the buddhi, then the judgmental part will come. Are good, bad, and all that stuff. But anyway, for a beginner, whatever happens. You can set the ball rolling, and then it can be refined over by experience. The crux is expression. The scientific principle behind it, because you see, minus mark wala ne gnan diya hai, so some steps have to be given how to improve. Then it will become online. Then walking, talking, you will be observing errors, immediate correction, and fat. Then you don't have to pile up the day.
Very good. Okay, Chittalben, you have to say something?
Yeah, I just want to clarify something, JSS Apt Pulinanandji. That, I've been trying to do this experiment, but what had happened was that in the morning time, until I, start preparing lunch and breakfast for Cable to pack, everything is sort of routine. So I'm able to observe Sheetal, I'm doing VD, I'm doing all of that, Jua. But then once files come, the day starts, then the observation would go away, like Juvanu Badu Chuki Jai. So I think what I understood from what you were saying right now is, if that's hard, you can do it afterwards too. Like in my lunch break, I can say, okay, what happened since you started working till now, or even in the evening then. So doing it afterwards is also, I never thought about doing that. Okay.
Yeah, that is equivalent.
Okay.
Because unless you do it afterwards, you'll start the ball rolling, na? And then that Jagrati will increase, and gradually you will be able to do it even while working. But that is a later stage. Right now, you can keep it at that. You can keep it at that.
Okay, because it was really difficult to, because all the work activities require a lot of focus. So it's
yes, no, it's
really
not. It's not possible. It's not possible.
Yeah,
it's not possible.
Okay, good, very good suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you. Deepakaji, you want to add something?
Yes, I would like to say that the way Dada Bhagwan has said that whenever he is in conversation with anyone, then at that time he says that the tape record is the speaker. People who are listening, they are the listeners. He remains as observer of the tape being played, the speaker what he's speaking, and he keeps checking if there's anything wrong, he keeps correcting. So at that time, he's not seeing what Mr. A.M. Patel is doing. His focus is on the tape record, because the focus is on tape record and correct anything which is wrong. So whenever there is file, then our focus is on the file, because file needs amicable settlement. And so in those moments, if we are following, we are supposed to be following Agna and remain in in the fourth Agna of settling the file, handling the file amicably. So the whole pure soul use is in settlement of the file. But he said, when file is not there, then I am one with the God. So we have to accept this, because file means it needs attention, it needs handling, and that handling needs to be amicable. Jai Satchidanand.
Essentially, you know what we have to look, where rag or dvesh is taking place. That's all. During the working.
Correct.
Afterwards,
Afterwards, observe that.
The crux is to reach over there.
That's the goal. Okay.
And as the Jagrati, as the awareness will increase over a period of time, as the pressure of files will reduce over a period of time, then you will have enhanced online Jagrati, like he said. I can immediately spot any error in the speech of A. Patel that has come. I can immediately spot any mistake that has happened by action. It would never happen, but that enhanced awareness is there on file number 1, mind, body, speech, everything. But that we will come as our pressure of files reduces. And as our inner weaknesses reduce, Krodman, Mayalok, our inner discharge, Moho reduces. So when all those things reduce, our Jagrati will be enhanced, and then this is a natural outcome of all that. So don't worry about the outcome. Go piecemeal, Purusharth,
Okay. Okay, so 11,
Yes.
you want to say something?
Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji, Jai Sachidanand Prakanandji, Jai Sachidanand all Mahatmas. My question is, of course, regarding the food, the intake of food and how I've been eating because of some emotional, it's more of an emotional eating. There's some void and then you start eating and you know it, you're observing it, you know that you should not be doing this. And then, I mean, like after I'm done with that and every day at the end of the day, I'm like, I shouldn't, file number one, this is something which shouldn't have happened. We should not be eating. Only when there's an emotional, I think binging or whatever you call it. So how do I, because I keep doing it, then I correct myself, I keep doing it. Is this how it's going to happen? Like you mentioned, it's just the discharge is so strong. Is it, and I myself get tired with the way I'm doing this. It's like I'm not hungry, but you keep, there's some void that you feel and then you do that emotional eating for a while and then stop. So is this what is going to keep happening till this whole thing? And I do pray and hope that it will stop.
See, there are two things. One is intrinsic. We have brought, that every 2 hours or so we need to, we feel to munch something.
Right.
That is one. And Dada used to mention that it is predominant in women than men. They have this tendency to extract happiness from food. So little bit of munch every 2 hours or so roughly they need.
Yes.
So that is that, as I mentioned, a very strong imposed belief of happiness from food.
Yes.
So that's part of the discharge. And the second thing that you mentioned, that has also been well opinionated by psychiatrists, that whenever we are emotionally unstable, we try to seek happiness from somewhere. And then food is the easiest thing to get happiness, to overcome that weakness or whatever inner burning or suffering that we have, So that can be taken care by our Gnan or Dada's knowledge, And whatever disturbance in worldly matters that is happening to us, while this thing, those have to be tackled with today's Dada's Gnan or 5 Agnas and all that, so that the mind and intellect are at peace. Basically, we have to pacify our mind and intellect. Why he did like this? Why I have to suffer so much? How many times I have to only do? My life is like that only. Nothing will happen next 5 years. So then to forget that, you start eating,
Yes.
So,
yes.
So the obesity normal in some people is because of that.
Yes.
So it's a known phenomena. Now, those question marks where the mind and intellect is disturbed and the ego is feeling very unhappy in that state of this thing. So the ego resorts to this happiness. Now, the answer to that is we have to give the proper Gnan solutions that Dada Bhagwan has given us. We find someone's behavior wrong, then what is the true understanding of Dada Bhagwan? How would he have tackled such a behavior, such a situation? Whatever the 5 Agnas or whatever Bhogvete Nipul or whatever n number of things Dada Bhagwan has said. So apply Dada's Gnan and try to pacify the mind and intellect and the ego, a disturbed ego, basically. So use Dada's knowledge. Now, once that is satisfied or suppressed, then this urge to eat will also reduce. The urge to eat is something to just overcome that pain.
Yes.
Just to overcome all that pain, temporary pain, you are just overcoming by eating and feeling happy. But that pain still remains.
Yes.
It cannot be resolved by proper understanding.
Yes, definitely. I don't feel happy after eating. No.
No one feels, because the pain has not gone. You have not addressed the pain.
Exactly,
it's like
the root cause.
Like a person who is undergoing some trouble in worldly life, and he resorts to drinking. He drinks so that 2 hours or 2 days, that period is at peace. But again, that when that intoxication goes away, that pain is still there.
Still there. Yes.
So that is exactly what is happening with what you are saying is. So one of the things could be to address it with the Dada's Gnan and gradually over a period of time pacify that. So once that is satisfied, then that binge eating or that emotional eating will stop.
Okay.
That emotional eating will stop. And then number 2, I want to enhance my awareness, remain in the pure soul and do more of this. once that becomes your inner desire,
Exactly.
not because you have heard that in satsang, you must feel like doing it. And once that becomes a goal, then food and happiness from food will be on a low priority.
Yes. The focus should change. Yeah. The
Focus has
should
to change.
Yes.
Your happiness, you must feel that I will be happy if I'm able to achieve or grow spiritually.
Exactly. Yes.
I want the happiness of the pure soul and not happiness of the five senses.
Okay, got it.
So once you get into that frame of mind, this will happen. It will take time, but mind you, there's no quick result.
Yes. I've been waiting.
Be slow and steady.
Yes. You keep slipping, that's the thing.
Else you will get frustrated.
Yes, very frustrated, yes.
Right, Sachin. Okay, our time is up. Pulinanandji, please, the three mantra. Shitalben, Shailaben, please follow.
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Variyantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vassayanam.
Namo Vassayanam.
Namo Loe Sawa Sahunam.
Namo Loe Sawa Sahunam.
Eso Panchana Mukkaro.
Eso Panchana Mukkaro.
Sawa Pava Panasano.
Sawa Pava Pranasano.
Manglanam Jasavesim.
Mangalanam Jasavesim.
Padmam Havai Mangalam.
Padmam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Tomorrow we are starting with a new week and our Purusharth, our next level of alertness, I will say. We will put it in the message. But tomorrow's program, morning 6:30, we have Pratavidhi, 10:15 in the morning, Gujarati Satsang. 3 p.m. we will have Hindi Satsang. 4:30 we will have Kirtan Bhakti and Aarti. Night 9 p.m. worldwide Gujarati Satsang. We will use the three separation sentences of Dada Bhagwan to enhance and be in our intermediate enlightened state. And in that state, now we will start watching. We have been watching our bodily activity. Now we will focus on our thoughts. So we will elaborate that during the next 2 weeks' time from different Aptaputras, from their experience, and we will also have experience shared by the